Okay. So the last class we discussed about cursors and implicit cursor and explicit cursor in the types. Also we discussed the attributes, right? So now we'll see another different types of cursor. Okay. So static cursor and dynamic cursor. Okay. First we'll see what is static cursor, and then we'll see what is the difference between static and dynamic. Okay. I'm just writing simple program to extract the data from employee table and also from department table. Okay, so I want complete data from employee table as well as from department table, which means I'm going to write two separate queries actually. Okay, so definitely, so if you want to get more than one record, means we have to write a cursor. Okay, so I'll be writing two cursors, one for EMP and another for DEPT. Okay, first we'll do that, and then we'll try to fetch the data from both the cursors and we'll print it. That's it. So I'm writing a declare block here. Give me a second. It's not typing here. Okay. Declare, and I'm writing cursor. Cursor name, anything you can write. You can write C1 also, no problem. Okay, so any name which is meaningful. Okay, so I'm writing, this is for example related to department table. So I want to write DEPT underscore C. Cursor name followed by is. So then I have to write the query which you want to process. Okay, so I don't want to write anything extra here. I'm just writing select star from DEPT. If you want, you can write anything over there in place of this query as per your requirement. So now I'm writing one more cursor. Cursor name EMPC is select star from EMP. Okay, so I defined now two cursors in this declare block. You know already, to fetch the data, you have to use the variables, right, to load the data we're fetching. But if you use for loop, that is not required. So what we'll do, we'll use for loop only. So directly I'm going to begin block, begin, and in the begin block, I just want to print an heading because I'm printing the data from two cursors. Okay, so I just want to print kind of a heading here, cursor, sorry, dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, and here I'm just writing whatever you are printing first, the details. So I'm printing first department details, so DEPT details, that's it, and it is in single quotes. It's a kind of just heading for me. So thereafter I'll start processing my cursor. Okay, so if it is not a for loop, you have to write open cursor, fetch cursor, and everything. So but I'm using for loop, so those are all not required. Even variable is also not required. So I'm directly writing for DEPT rec. It's nothing but my variable, but no need to declare. DEPT rec in, where is my data? My data is in DEPT underscore C. So when I'm writing this, it will open this cursor and data will be populated. So once the data is populated, that will be processed and loaded into this variable. So both will be done in this line only. I mean, open cursor and fetch cursor will be done here itself. It's done for DEPT rec and DEPTC. So then you have to loop it till the end. So I'm going loop. So inside what you want to do, your wish, that is depends on your requirement. You can write any statement. Okay, you can write insert, update, delete, any kind of statement you can write. But I don't want to do anything. I just want to print that data. So I'm writing dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay, so where is my data is loaded in now? dept underscore rec. Okay, but if you write like this a single variable, it will throw error because put line will accept only one argument. But dept rec is having all the columns of information, whatever we have in the cursor, right? So I'm writing dept rec dot department number, nothing but the column name, concatenation dept underscore rec dot dname. Okay, so like that you can write remaining columns, and like that you can use these columns wherever it is required. Also in yesterday program also we used like this, one cursor value in another. Fine, finally end of the loop. Okay, same way I'm just going to process another one also. And before that, let me print a message here also, like what I'm printing. Okay, EMP's details. And here the cursor name is EMP underscore cursor, and the variable, so I'm declaring as a EMP rec in EMP cursor, and everything is same. And now here in this, my data is actually here in EMP rec. So I'm writing EMP rec dot employee number. Here also EMP rec dot employee name. So like that you can print whatever the columns you want, or you can use wherever you want like this. So I'm writing EMP rec dot salary also, 3 columns. Like that you can add another columns also, no problem. End of the loop. And finally, I just want to end the program as of now. Okay, so it's not showing any error as of now, but let me execute and we'll see what will happen. Before that, we should enable the dbms output to see the output. So what we'll do, we'll enable the output. Okay, view dbms output. It's enabled. Click on this plus. Now it's enabled. Okay, I selected that entire, control enter. Okay, successfully completed, and you can see this output, dept details, and followed by EMP details also there. Okay, fine, right? So here it is nothing. So instead of printing data or writing one cursor in this program, I written 2 select queries. So I used 2 cursors. Okay, so I written 2 cursors here for 2 queries. Okay, so which means I am not using same cursor. Okay, same cursor for both the queries. Okay, so I am writing dept cursor for one query, EMP cursor for one query. Okay, so this is nothing but this dept cursor, whatever I written, that is specifically for this query only. Okay, and EMP cursor, whatever I written, that is only for that query. Okay, so this is nothing but static. Okay, static, fixed. Okay, so static means once we define the cursor and assign the select statement for that cursor, later we can't change that select statement for that cursor. Okay, so what is static cursor? I'm just repeating again. What is static cursor? Once we define the cursor for a select statement, later we can't change that select statement for that cursor. So this is nothing but called as static cursor, means that select statement is fixed for that cursor. Okay, so like this, if you want to write some 10 select queries, so then you have to write definitely 10 cursors. Understood? So this is nothing but static. Whatever we discussed as of now, the programs, whatever we written from last classes, all those are static cursors only. Okay, we'll see what is meant by dynamic cursor. That is just opposite to that. Static means if you want to define, sorry, if you want to write 10 select statements, you don't need to write 10 cursors now. Okay, you don't need to write 10 cursors, which means you can write one cursor and you can change the select statement one after another processing. Okay, so first I'm assigning one statement, and then after processing of that first statement, I'll assign second statement. After processing of second statement, I'll assign third statement. So like that, I can change my select statement for that cursor. Means opening only one cursor or defining only one cursor, but I'm changing my select statement to that cursor. Okay, so that is nothing but dynamic cursor, are also called as ref cursor. Okay, so very, very important interview question. What is dynamic cursor or ref cursor? So then in case of static cursor, once we define a select statement for the cursor, later we can't change that select statement for that cursor. It's nothing but called as static cursor. If it is a dynamic cursor, we can define only one cursor and we can change the select statement for that cursor after processing each statement. Is nothing but called as dynamic cursor or reference cursor. Okay, so now we'll see a program for reference cursor. Okay, dynamic cursor or ref cursor. I cleared everything. Let's write a new program. Same requirement. Okay, same requirement. I just want to get the data from EMP table, one query, and select star from DEPT, another query. Two queries, but I want to define only one cursor. Okay, declare. So definitely I have to declare because I have to write a cursor. Okay, so but here I'm not going to write directly cursor name. Okay, so because it's going to be like this, like how I was defining a record type variable. The same way, type, you can write any type name. Okay, so this is related to ref cursor, so I just want to write ref cursor type. Any name meaningfully, it's a type name. Okay, type name is followed by which type it is ref cursor. In case of record type, what we written, you remember, type name is record, and we used that type name whatever we defined for assigning to another variable. Here also same, I did it, type name is ref cursor. Okay, so whatever the type name is there, it's like a data type for me now. Okay, whatever the type name is there, it's like a data type for me, same like a record type definition. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll copy it, this type name, and I'll assign it as a data type to a variable. Okay, so I'm declaring a variable here, vref cursor, and this is my data type to that. That's it. Okay, so this is nothing but my now cursor variable. It's a variable only. Okay, v underscore ref is a variable only, but it's a type of cursor. Okay, so it is called as cursor variable. Okay, I'll write here cursor variable. So you can also call this ref cursor as a cursor variable. Okay, so now my cursor is ready. What is my cursor name here? My cursor name is this b underscore ref. Now you can use this name n number of times, no problem, for any select statement, because now there is no select statement assigned to this cursor. Okay, so now what we'll do, I'm directly going to the begin block because I don't know anything is required or not. First, let me go to the begin block and I'm trying to open this cursor. A cursor is defined. Now I'm opening this cursor. Okay, open, followed by what is my cursor name? vref cursor. Actually, this is what we used to do if you want to open the cursor. Just open, followed by cursor name. But now there is no select statement actually. But in last programs, there was a select statement assigned to that cursor in the declare block. But in the declare block, we just defined the cursor. But no select statement is there in the declare block. So what I need to do now, I have to assign the select statement to this cursor. So I'm writing open, vref for, now you can write your select query, whatever you want. So I'm writing my query select star from emp, for example. This is my query. It's done. Now cursor is open for this query. You can start fetching it same like a normal way. So in loop I'm writing, sorry, fetch, where is my data? My data is now in vref cursor. Okay, so I'm writing vref into, I have to load now into some variable. Okay, because it's not a for loop, we need a variable. So let me define a variable here. Vemp is my variable. Okay, and data type, I'll define it as a record type variable so that I can load complete record. Okay, so vemp, so I'm writing emp percent row type. You know what is row type already. Okay, so complete row type will be assigned to this variable. So now this variable capacity is can hold complete one record. Okay, so vemp is done. So like that, I need one more variable for a next statement. So I'm defining it now only, dept percentile row type. Now going down, fetch vref into, I'm loading this data now into vemp. It's done. Okay, and it's a normal loop, I mean simple loop. So what you have to say, you have to tell when it has to come out from the loop. So I'm writing a exit condition here, exit when it has to come out, whenever data is not there in the loop. Exit when vref cursor percentile not found. Whenever it's empty, whenever there is no data found in the cursor, then come out. Okay, finally, if you want to use that data anywhere, you can use it. But as of now, I just want to print it. So I'm writing dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. And here I'm writing, what is that variable name? Data is in vemp. And of course, there is lot of columns of data. So I'm writing vemp dot employee number, vemp dot ename, vemp dot cell. Only 3 columns I'm printing as of now. Finally, end of the loop. Okay, so this is done now. Open cursor. Okay, here what I did, I just opened a cursor and fetched the data, and I'm using it. End of the loop. Okay, open cursor is done, fetch cursor is also done. Means my statement is processed now. So what do you want to do now? Okay, you can use that same cursor. Okay, you can use that same cursor now to write another thing. But as of now, let me close this program. Okay, and we'll execute till here. Okay, clear the output. And if you want to print any message on the top, this is emp details or dpt details, let us print, no problem. First, let me execute till here. Okay, it's printing all the employees details. It is printing now. Good, it's working fine. So, and also check Miller is coming only one time, means exit condition is also working fine. Good. Now I just want to print one more message here just to identify. So I'm writing dbms output dot put line. I just want to print here emp details. Same way now, after completion of processing this first statement, I just want to print a heading kind of here, dept details. Okay, so now what I have to do, I have to open a cursor for my another query also, another select statement also. So I'm just taking as it is this copy. Okay, open cursor to end loop, going down and just pasting here. That's it. Now I'm not changing anything. Okay, open vref cursor, same name only I'm using, means same cursor only I'm using, but for a different query. So I'm just writing different query like this, select star from dept. Okay, you can write any query like this, not only this. I'm telling loop fetch vref cursor, and this is related to department, right? So already we defined a variable for it, vdept. So it will be loaded into now vdept, and it can come out whenever there is no data in the cursor. Come down, and I just want to print it. So I'm writing here vdept dot department number, vdept dot dname. Okay, fine. End of the loop, end of the program. Okay, so I'm just clearing this old output and executing now. Control enter. We can see first heading came EMP details, and thereafter EMP details you can see, and there is another heading DEPT details, and followed by DEPT details. Is okay? So what you need to observe here, only one thing, same like a last program only, it is also printing the data, but in last program we defined two cursors. Okay, two cursors to process two select statements. Okay, but here we defined only one cursor to process same two select statements. Okay, so what's the difference between these two now? So in case of static cursor, once we define the select statement, later we can't change that select statement to that cursor. So that's why it is called as static cursor. Okay, so in case of dynamic cursor, once we assign the select statement, later we can change the select statement to that cursor. Okay, so how we are doing this? We are defining a cursor variable. Okay, with ref cursor type, first I'm defining a type, and then I'm assigning that type to a variable. So that's why it's also called as cursor variable. Okay, so dynamic cursor or ref cursor or cursor variable. So that cursor variable I'll be using as a cursor to open or to get select statement. Okay, so once the first select statement is processed, I can use same thing, same cursor for another select statement. So like that, I can assign n number of statements to that same cursor. Okay. Any confusion here? So definitely it is going to be important interview question for you. What is ref cursor, or what is dynamic cursor, or what is cursor variable? Okay, no questions. Okay, so there is one more point, that is this ref cursor or dynamic cursor, whatever we discussed just now. Give me a second. Okay, whatever we discussed just now, again we have two types here. Okay, so what is the two types? One is strong ref cursor. One second. Okay, strong ref cursor. Another one is weak ref cursor. Okay, so we don't know what is ref cursor, nothing but we can change the select statement dynamically to that cursor, right? Again, we have two types there. One is strong ref cursor, another one is weak ref cursor. Okay, so what is meant by strong ref cursor and what is meant by weak ref cursor, we'll see now. So whatever the program we written now, so this is completely based on these first two lines. Okay, so by seeing these two lines only, we can come to know it is a strong or weak ref cursor. Okay, so by seeing this cursor type or by seeing these first two lines, do you know for which data or which columns of data or which type of data this cursor is defined? Like employee number, employee name, salary, or department number, department name, like that? No, we don't know the structure of that cursor, right? What is the structure of EMP table? EMP table will be having a structure, nothing but some column names will be there, employee number, employee name, like that. Department table will be having a some structure. Same way, whatever cursors we defined in last program also. For example, let me go back to the last program which we discussed. Okay, so for example, here it is DEPT cursor, right? So what's the structure of this DEPT cursor? So this DEPT cursor structure is nothing but whatever this select query is going to return, that is nothing but the structure of your DPT cursor. And EMP cursor structure is same. Whatever the select query is going to return, some columns will come, right? That is nothing but the structure of your EMP cursor in this program. But in this dynamic cursor program, by seeing these two lines, we can't say what's the structure it is having. Okay, because it is not assigned to any select statement. If it is assigned to any select statement, so then we used to come to know it is the structure of this ref cursor. But here it is not assigned to any select statement. Okay, just we defined a cursor, so that's why it is a weak ref cursor. Okay, so how we are telling it is a weak ref cursor? Because we don't know structure of this ref cursor. Okay, so structure means don't get confused. This is not having any select statement right now, so we don't know which type of data it is going to hold. Like in past old program, so there it is having a specific structure for that cursor, but here it won't have any structure. That's why it's a weak ref cursor. Okay, so then what about strong ref cursor? We'll see. Let me paste it here. Then what about strong ref cursor? Same thing. Okay, type name is ref cursor. Okay, and then you have to say here itself you need to say it is belongs to this particular EMP percentile row type kind of. Okay, so now what you will come to know, this is belongs to this EMP table kind of structure, right? So definitely then what will happen, you will come to know the structure of that cursor is nothing but it's a strong ref cursor. Okay, but we'll be writing only this kind of thing. Okay, any confusion till now? Any confusion? No, right? Okay, so in case of strong ref cursor, we will be having a structure, what it is going to return. Okay, like this. And in case of very weak ref cursor, we don't know what is the structure of that cursor. That's only the difference between strong ref cursor and weak ref cursor. Right? Any confusion, let me know. So otherwise, we'll go to the next chapter.